I don't think I have any hidden talents, really. Singing is the one thing that I knew I was good at, and I've really gone for it since people told me when I was like 8 years old. I'm really good at directions. Like, I could walk around a whole city and find myself all the way back. It's really weird. I can't read a map though, it's all memory. Loneliness, I think. My album's called In the Lonely Hour, and I wanted to write a love album, and I've done that, and it's a love album from a different angle. It's a whole piece that talks about different forms of love, because I've spent my whole life listening to music which represents love in quite a typical way, and I've never been in a relationship, so I've never been able to identify with quite a lot of the music that's been out in the past 10 years. So I wanted to make the album that I never had as a kid. I kind of made the songs to help me, and then as the album was going on, I slowly realised that you know, there's other people that are lonely, and I hope I can say the things that they can't say. I flip in my head. Even when I listen to music, you know. So right now I'm listening to like Ariana Grande, and then last week I was listening to Blood Orange. And if you listen to those two people, they're like, couldn't be any more different. And my music can be a bit like that sometimes. But I think it's my voice that hopefully links it all together and makes it all a piece, if you know what I mean. But every single genre, there's so many genres in my album. A compliment about my voice. Yeah, okay. It's lovely. It's quite bad though. I get worried sometimes, because I think people, you know, 2 years ago, if someone would have complimented me in that way, I think because I wasn't getting any compliments, I would have been like, oh my gosh. And because you get quite a lot of compliments. Just on Twitter and stuff, people say nice things all the time, okay. And I just worry that I'll get immune to that, so I've got to make sure I don't. I have a diary from when I was like a teenager that I keep. I actually keep this, my mum when I was like three years old, my mum got me a Buzz Lightyear costume, but I was quite a fat kid, so I couldn't fit into it. There's a picture of me like squeezed into this Buzz Lightyear costume, and I've still got that. I mean, I am predominantly a singer, and that really has been my instrument that I've focused on from a young age. So it meant that when I wasn't writing my own music, I was very reliant as a singer on the people that I'd work with and the songs I was singing. So the first few management deals I went through, they made me sing certain types of music. They didn't make me, I also did it as well, because I didn't have any idea of what I wanted to do. So yeah, I've sang a lot of different types of music, some very embarrassing as well. My first singing teacher was a woman called Joanna Eden, who was a jazz singer locally, and she introduced me to jazz music in a huge way, and I used to go to like the National Theatre in London and watch her perform. And then slowly as I got older, so when I was probably about 13, 14, she had me backing sing for her at all her gigs and stuff. So, you know, and that was when I was doing musical theatre. So, you know, every time I was going down a certain road, I was also straddling two other genres at the same time, if you know what I mean. So when I was doing musical theatre, I was still backing singing for a jazz teacher and singing soul music. So I've always done loads. I'm a big believer in controlling your voice. I feel like some people oversing and do too much. You know, I've got to remember that the majority of my audience aren't singers, so they've got to be able to sing along to my music. So to do that, I try sometimes to sing it as simply as I can. And then every now and then I'll do an ad-lib, and I think the effect is greater. That's what Whitney Houston used to do. She used to sing her songs, and then when she did an ad-lib, you'd know about it. Instead of some singers that overdo it all the time. Yeah. My style's changes all the time, just like any other child or teenager. And I don't know. Now I just dress quite simply, and I'm very symmetrical in that I've got OCD really bad, and like I'm very symmetrical in the way I dress. I want everything to be matching colours and simple and plain and fit in my head. It's really weird. I find it weird still to this day, because my voice in my head sounds very different to what I think people hear. Also, I don't listen to guy singers. I never have. I've always loved female singers, so I don't understand why people like my voice, because it's a guy's voice, and I don't really get guys' voices. So. I really throw myself into my music in a bad way sometimes, actually. Sometimes I feel like I should hold back more, but there's something so addictive to letting all your secrets out into a song. It's more exciting because when I'm singing those lyrics on stage, or when I'm showing my music to my team or anything like that, you know, I watch the effect it has when they know I'm saying something very personal, and that's an addictive feeling, to feel like you're saying something you shouldn't in a song. I love that, because I believe music is what your feelings sound like. So when you're saying something so personal in a song, it's almost like it's something people have never heard before, if you know what I mean. I think the happiest I've been recently was after I did Saturday Night Live, and I get really scared on television, and I performed, there's 7 million viewers, and I did 2 songs I've never done on television before, and I was so petrified for that moment, and it went so well, and we celebrated after, had drinks and stuff, and I think that's one of the happiest I've been in a long time. I haven't had a chance really to properly celebrate and sit back and just think about what we've done, and that night I did.